Hey guys, how's it going? Professor Shuckle here, back with another Pokemon video. This time I'll be going over my semi-final game for the WoW. If you haven't checked it out, we won our round 1 game against Pyronox and it was a pretty close game, really fun one, really well played on both sides, I think. So definitely check that out if you haven't. But we won, so we are here in the semi-final up against our good friend Odin. Odin's another really good friend of mine from the community. We've teamed a couple of times in the past, I think, or I've helped him a lot in team tours. I don't know if we actually teamed together. I feel like we did for PGP, but I don't know if he also teamed outside of that. But yeah, he's a really great guy, pretty solid battler, pretty decent builder as well. So it should be a fun one. I think I've only played him once before in APA, just when Sword and Shield had come out and our teams were terrible, I think. I don't think I've played him again after that, or I can't remember if I've done. But yeah, and also to note, I'm the only one from my conference, from my side of the conference, who is still remaining in playoffs. Otherwise, everyone who won was from the other side of the conference. Odin obviously is from the other side of the conference as well, because we didn't play him in the regular season, and he was the first seed actually from the other side, so he did pretty well. And we can see why, because his draft is pretty broken, and so let's just jump into it. Signing up, he has Chi-Yu, Walking Wake, Sneasler, Tinglu, Torkoal, Thunderous Incarnate, Mesprit, Rillaboom, Fortress, and Dashbun. As you can see, pretty scary team with the Sun Walking Wake. And this might be our toughest matchup yet, right? Because I think this is a lot harder to deal with than TJ, which I think was our most difficult matchup in the regular season. Yeah, so we do not switch into Chi-Yu or Walking Wake in the Sun. And obviously Walking Wake can also boost its speed in the Sun, like the Choice Spec speed boosting set. So definitely annoying to switch into, and he just basically needs Hydro Steam and Draco Meteor. He doesn't really need to click anything else. Obviously it could be Life Orb with Sub or something if he wants to use Prediction, or maybe even Agility if he's scared about something, but he has a lot of options with it. But Choice Spec's probably the scariest set to switch into, I would say. Chi-Yu obviously super hard to switch into, can definitely be Specs for new, can be Scarf for speed control, can be Boots so he doesn't take hazards, could be Resist Berry, could be Sash, a bunch of stuff, but obviously super hard to switch into as well. Sneasler, pretty good for speed control here as well. Scarf Sneasler can outspeed Booster Speed Valiant and OHKO it. Direct Claw is obviously a broken move. And then it has other forms of speed control too, like Fake Out Normal Gem, or Air Balloon, Unburden, or the Endure Berry that raises attack, and then Reversal or whatever to, get that going as well. So definitely pretty good speed control for him. I think it's needed for the Booster Valiant, which could otherwise get out of hand. But otherwise, I don't think Sneeze has the, it has a pretty decent matchup if Landorus and Goldengo get shipped, but Goldengo and Landorus are pretty good counters to non-Terra Sneasler, but I do expect it to come. Tinglu, pretty annoying, again, really annoying for a lot of my team because it just eats hits so well, and it can hazard, you can set hazards. Obviously, weakness policy can be scary as well and hard to switch into, and obviously Ruination and stuff to chip things in range of Walking Wake and Sneasler. Definitely annoying. What else? Yeah, Tinglu expected to come pretty bulky, so it's annoying to deal with. We do have our Shifu, which kind of, takes advantage of it. So if he brings Tinglu, I expect something else to take care of our Shifu, because he doesn't really deal with our Shifu that well. Next up, Torkoal, which I do expect to come to set the Sun. Obviously, Heatrock is probably the most likely set, but he could be a bunch of things. He could be Eject Pack with Overheat for momentum. He could be Eject Button for, momentum as well. He could be Helmet, Boots, Red Card, a bunch of stuff, right? That's what I think, but Heatrock probably the most likely to have 8 turns of Sun. Thunderous, I think, is pretty good into this as well. the only real check we have are like Zaruda and Landorus, and it can kind of have coverage to get past both of them with like Psychic and Sludge Bomb and Focus Blast. And obviously Plot is pretty strong as well. And Thunderwave is actually pretty good into my team as well, right? Or just in general in SV because there's no heal bell. So I can definitely see Utility Thunderous or Plot Thunderous or even Agility coming, and it could definitely be annoying. Mesprit could come as the Iron Valiant check because if he doesn't want to take Tinglu, because I think Specs Valiant just two shots Tinglu, so I might bring Mesprit instead. But Mesprit says to make a bit of a guess on special versus physical, I think. So, but it could definitely come. It could also come for Lando, like, you know, give him a better ground resist or ground immune than Thunderous, because Thunderous still drops to Stone Edge, but and like it can't. Thunderous can't OHKO Lando, but Mesprit can with Ice Beam, so I think that way. And then Healing Wish could be cool, or Thunder Wave U-turn, you know, the usual Mesprit stuff. Rillaboom I can definitely see coming for the Rotom, which is otherwise pretty decent into his team. So I could definitely see it coming for that. I could also see it coming for the Urshifu, like a super bulky Rillaboom with Drum Beating, Knockoff, U-turn, Tantrum maybe, Lead Seed maybe, Taunt maybe, something like that. Or just Wood Hammer, something like that could definitely come. And gives his team like more recovery, makes Tinglu more annoying to deal with the grassy terrain recovery. So I can definitely see that coming. It also weakens Landorus's Earthquakes, which is good for him. So yeah, Rillaboom definitely pretty likely. Fortress could come. And try to set hazards, because as I said, our team's not the best at dealing with hazards. Could also come to check Urshifu, because in the Sun, Surging Strikes doesn't really do as much. And then he can Volt out, slow momentum, get some, you know, momentum. Or he can use it to try and check. If he's right about the Reviv Room, it can come as well. Dashpan, I don't really expect coming unless he's really scared of the Noivern, but he should know I hate Noivern, right? So hopefully he doesn't bring it. So yeah, as for our side, threats that we have, Iron Valiant, obviously, he doesn't really switch into it that well. Moonblast, Aura Sphere hits pretty much his entire team. Psychic for the Sneasler, Shadow Ball for the Mesprit. It even gets Fire Punch, you know, just to be mixed versus the Fortress. It has Destiny Bond, Thunder Wave, Combine. Like, he can do a bunch of stuff, and Booster Speed is obviously faster than Booster Walking, or Photosynthesis Walking Wake in the Sun, which is also good, and would be faster than everything on his team, bar Scarf Sneasler or Unburdened Sneasler, right? So, can definitely be annoying for him to deal with, and he doesn't really switch into it that well. Like, there are things that will take a hit, if they're in, like I definitely need chip before it starts killing, but I don't think things can switch in as easily because they might get to it killed potentially. Goldango, this is a rough matchup. There's a Walking Wake, Tinglu, Torkoal, Chiyu, Thunderous, right? Like, it's definitely tough with a Sun team, but it is pretty hard for him to switch into other than the Tinglu, like, which... Like, I could use it to overpower the Tinglu because it has to check a bunch of stuff. And obviously, Jetpack is a pretty decent option on the Goldango. You make it rain. On the Tinglu, do about 25% chip, hopefully. And then you get a free swap into Urshifu and put pressure, right? And keep the Tinglu low, hopefully. So that's a way of using it, but it's definitely tough for it because Scarf Chiyu and Booster Speed Walking Wake with both outspeed Goldango, so it's not like it's going to do much even if it's Scarf. So definitely tough. Landorus, pretty decent in this matchup defensively, but I feel like it is a little, overburdened in my opinion. It has to check the Sneasler, the Tinglu, the Thunderous, the Fortress. You know, like, it can definitely be worn down, especially if it takes a Ruination and suddenly you're at 50% health, right? You can't really, you don't have recovery, so you're kind of stuck. But Earthquake's pretty good if he doesn't bring the Rillaboom and then like Stone Edge to hit the Thunderous, or U-turn on the Mesprit if it's slower. Rock's are pretty decent. It's pretty good Rock setter as I've been using it throughout the season. And obviously Taunt's pretty nice for like Tinglu. You can block the hazard. Same with Fortress, which is pretty cool as well. Next up, Rotom, I think, again, is pretty decent defensively. So I kind of expect the Rillaboom to come for this. Otherwise, you know, it's kind of annoying for him to deal with, like Volt Switch, Hydro Pump. And then obviously I've shown the tendency to run screens, which can be annoying for him. And maybe even like a plot set could definitely put in work, or Trick. So I think he has to be worried about Rotom a little bit. So I think he should have something for it. Which is why I don't expect a straight top 6 matchup, because I feel like Rotom does really well into that. So I feel like a Rillaboom has to come over something from the top 6. Zarude, again, same problem. It is faster than Scarf Chiyu, but then it doesn't really do that well into Torkoal, Walking Wake, and Sneasler. It's okay into the Thundurus, because Thundurus can Prankster us, and like Crunch hits it hard, but also there's a Fortress, like, which it doesn't really beat. So again, yeah, tough one for the Zarude, and I don't know, I feel like Zarude's been my most disappointing mon on this, even though there's a NOIVERN, but I don't think I'm a kill with Zarude, and yeah, just another matchup where I feel like Zarude's not the best mon. So Urshifu is pretty solid here. He doesn't really switch into it that well. Like, Swords Dance Punching Glove will just OHKO the Rillaboom with Ice Punch if it takes Rock, so that's pretty cool. And even though Sun weakens Surging Strikes, it's not like he switches in that easily into it. And then Drain Punch obviously does a lot of damage to everything. The only issue is if you run Swords Dance, he does have a bunch of ways of revenging it, which Chiyu, Walking Wake, Sneasler, like Thundurus, you know, a bunch of things that are faster. I could try Trailblaze, but I don't have, like, if I fit SD, then I don't have the coverage options, I feel. So, pretty tough. Like, it's good if I can get it in safely on, like, something like Tinglu, and I can fire off an attack and get HP. But I don't think it has sweeping potential this match, unfortunately, which sucks a little, but it's okay. NOIVERN, surprisingly, might be our second best Pokemon in this matchup, which is funny, because it's NOIVERN, right? But he doesn't have a good Dragon Resist. His only Dragon Resist are Dash Bun and Fortress, which I'm not sure are coming. If they do come, definitely a little annoying. But, I mean, Fortress is not the best Dragon Resist, so Tinglu is a semi-Dragon Resist, but it still would take a lot, and, you know, it has to be worried about Super Fang Taunt as well, I believe. Super Fang Taunt's also pretty solid in this matchup, trying to get chips so our Valiant can win. Dunsparce is okay in this matchup because Spilef Eviolite will eat if rocks are not up, I believe, or if I play it properly, like in a way that I'm able to heal while also not being passive. But it's definitely hard to use it properly in this matchup, in my opinion. So, but definitely has a place like as a Spilef Wall to stop some of his threat, and then Glare is obviously broken, so you know that. Reverum on first look I thought was terrible, right? Because there's a Sun, there's Tinglu, there's Fortress. But then, the more I thought about it, is like, if I get Chip on the Tinglu and Torkoal, which I think are the main two, like, things I need to chip, it actually does pretty well after a Shift Gear, right? Because it's faster than everything bar Sneasler, Unburdened Sneasler. It will be faster than a speed boosting Walking Wake. It'll be faster than Scarf Sneasler, even Scarf Chiyu. The only issue with it is you just need some chip on the Torkoal, and obviously the Tinglu as well. So, but everything else gets OHKO'd by Gunk Shot or Iron Head, right? And it does get Overheat for the Fortress, and if the Sun is up, that is cooked as well. And then there's also a couple of targets to set up on, like if there's no Tantrum on the Rillaboom, you can set up on that. If the Dash Bun comes, you can set up on that. You can obviously set up on the Fortress too. Because of Filter, I looked up calcs, and it does take a Lava Plume even from Torkoal, so right, you can set up on that. You can set up on a Choice Specs Walking Wake locked into Dragon Move. You can set up on a Sneasler. So there are a couple of options to set up. And then if I do set up, I feel like it's definitely has, like if everything is chipped in range, it can definitely win. So maybe the car can pull it off once again. And Typhlosion, as I thought, had a pretty good matchup offensively. But again, it's on paper, like the speed just lets it down a little, right? Because he has a bunch of melons faster than me. And like I debated running Scarf Eruption or Scarf Shadow Ball. But Scarf Shadow Ball is walled by Ting Lu, and then the fire move is like easy for him to pivot into like Walking Wake after, because 4 times resist. So, and then obviously it's slower than everything, right? So it's a little annoying that way, in my opinion. So yeah, let's jump into the team. This is not the team I'm using, but I wanted to show it just in case, because this is the team I would normally use, like my first instinct build, you know, to have checks to everything. So I'm not going to go over this team in detail, but basically it's like you can see Punching Glove, sub 3 attacks or Shifu, because I think our Shifu is really good. I went sub instead of SD because with sub, I get guaranteed damage on Chi Yu, Walking Wake, Sneasler, Thunderous, right? Like, even they have to do something to break the sub, and I get damage on, which is like good damage, because again, he also doesn't have recovery, which is good for us. And even if he brings like Rillaboom, like with the terrain up, we can, even if he sub, and because we'll be able to hit it once and then swap, so we get like 2 turns of grassy terrain, so it's like helps that way too, which is pretty epic in my book. So yeah, basically that. Booster Valiant, because to speed control and not lose to like speed boosting specs Walking Wake, and then it's faster than Scarf Chi Yu and other Scarfers, which is good. Only Sneasler can outspeed this basically, or Scarf speed boosting Walking Wake, which I don't know if it's coming. Accord Cloak defensive Lando. On this build, I went with a trapping Landorus to like beat the trap the Ting Lu and like chip it down, or anything else, like it could chip and then taunt to keep it there, rocks, and then crunch was to hit the Mesprit and Thunderous in one. But and Cord Cloak so that Sneasler can do Sneasler things like Poison Touch or whatever. Spidef Dunsparce, as I said, with Glare Roost, Earth Power, Ice Beam. I went special because Lava Plume can burn. And then if I'm burnt, I'm not going to do damage, so I figured special was better. And Earth Power Ice Beam hits pretty much his whole team, and Serene Grace maybe, well, I can't Freeze and Sun, so maybe that Serene Grace is not the best one, but whatever. And then I went with like a defensive Noivern with Super Fang, Roost, Defog, Draco. Once again, trying to get things chipped in range of the Valiant. And then the Super Spidef Rotom with Citrus, so that we can take 2 Draco Meteors from the Walking Wake, and Hydro Pump, Rain Dance, Discharge, Volt Switch. Rain Dance just to switch the weather, and then Hydro Pump hurts the Ting Lu, and then Discharge for Paras, and like just stab in general, and then Volt Switch for Momentum. So yeah, I think it's a pretty defensive team, and I felt like, oh, if I don't get enough chip for the Valiant, or even if he's just Scarf Sneasler or like Balloon or Fake Out, then that strategy wouldn't work. So I changed the approach and went with a hyper offense approach, and this is the team I'm actually going to be running with. And so starting up, we have a Cord Cloak Landorus, but this one's a little more offensive because I'm running Earthquake and U-Turn, so I just want to get more chip, but it's still pretty bulky. Rocks, because rocks are good, and Taunt still for the Tingland Fortress, so they can set up hazards, which I thought was pretty important. So yeah. And we don't hit the Thunders with this, but the hope is I can U-turn into Specs Noivern. So basically I wanted more pivots on this team, so U-turn felt better. Next up, Rotom with the Citrus Blade. This is the same set, except I took out Discharge for Light Screen, because I thought it might help out this team a little more if I'm able to Light Screen up. And gives my team like better chances to survive hits. But same idea, like if I come in on Torque, I can Rain Dance and like ruin its thing, you know. And then obviously if he brings the Rillaboom and I Volt Switch, because that's his... Like if I Rain Dance, he might switch out of Ting Lu too, fearing like taking a boosted Hydro Pump. So he might go Rillaboom, and if I Volt and I get a Noivern, that's pretty good for me. So yeah, another similar... I like to this is just our Spidef pivot, right? And Citrus just helps us try and live longer. Next up, Iron Valiant with the Booster Energy. This is Booster Speed with Special Attack. And we're running Moonblast, Aura Sphere, so stabs. Destiny Bond and Psychic. So, I was initially Calm Mind and Shadow Ball, but Shadow Ball only does slightly more than Moonblast. So I just decided to keep Moonblast and hoping I can get Chip on the Mesprit other ways. Psychic was just so I can kill the Sneasler from full, right? Like otherwise I don't. Moonblast doesn't do enough. And then Destiny Bond was just in case, like a last ditch thing. Like if I go down, I can take something down with me, which I thought maybe could come into play. But yeah, again, this is hopefully our way of winning, or at least getting rid of the Wake or something scary, and then maybe the rest of my team can win. Next up, Choice Specs NOIVERN. This is a breaker. Probably our dedicated lead as well. Especially if he leaves Torkoal and he doesn't bring a Dashpan of Fortress, he has not a lot for the Draco. Like he can go into Tinglu, but that's good chip for my Rubber Broom, and then I can swap into Lando, get my rocks up, which is pretty cool. So yeah, or I can go into Urshifu, right, and threaten that way too, which is epic. So yeah, this NOIVERN Draco Meteor Dragon Pulse Boom Burst Flamethrower, I'll most likely be clicking Draco. Unless things are chipped enough where I just need to click Dragon Pulse. I believe I have enough speed for Sneasler creeping Valiant, so that I can just take it out, because again, this is just to hit things as hard as possible. The bulk is not, like, it's just leftover bulk, basically. Yeah, but this is our, and Frisk is to know items. I feel like knowing the items on Torkoal, Wake, GU, Sneasler are like pretty important, in my opinion, in this game. So getting damage off is gonna be important, and I haven't brought offensive NOIVERN yet, so maybe he will not prep for it if he's been watching my replays. That's the hope. I've been saying I hate NOIVERN, right? So hopefully that helps us. But yeah, I'm banking on NOIVERN to at least get 1.5 or to 2 kills, and that would be really epic. Obviously for a game plan, because this is a little more offensive. I don't know if it's exactly HO, but you know, this is definitely more offensive than what I would build. And then same thing with the similar set to the Urshifu. I just changed the EVs around when I wanted to hit as hard as possible. So my max attack Adamant. I think I have enough speed for modest Mesprit, so 260. This hits 259. I don't know how much speed the Rillaboom will have. Obviously he can be max speed for the Goldengo, but I don't think he should be, because you can't really hit me that hard. So I don't know, unless you go Banded, then fair enough. But hopefully I can figure that out by getting behind the sub and figuring out the speed with Grassy Terrain Recovery, which should help. And then obviously NOIVERN's a pretty good, decent pivot into the Rillaboom, which, you know, we can abuse after. But yeah, same set, Surging Strikes, Drain Punch, Ice Punch. I know Strikes is weak in the Sun, but if he goes into something like Torkoal and we can get the chip we need on it for Rubber Room, I'll take it, right? Surging Strikes does about 38% to Torkoal, I think, in the Sun. So I might just click it 2 times so that it's in range of Rubber Room, right? So definitely gonna take that if it comes to it. Drain Punch for recovery on like the Tinglu. Tinglu has a massive HP stat, so it should give us a bunch back as well. Also hits the Walking Wake pretty decently, does about half. And Ice Punch is just for the Rillaboom and the Thundurus. And next up, Rubber Vroom with the Lumberry and enough speed to outspeed Scarf Sneasler. That's the benchmark I hit, so that's why it's just max attack, max speed. And running Shift Gear, Gongcha, Ironhead, and Overheat at +1. We need Torkoal at about 50% if it's max. And then +1 Gongcha will take out the Torkoal, which is pretty cool. Also, we live a Lava Plume from uninvested Torkoal after rocks due to filter, which is pretty cool. The Tinglu, we need about like 35%, I think, for Ironhead to kill. If he is only max HP, no defense investment, so we need a lot more chip on the Tinglu, but maybe we can flinch, you know? Like, Rubber Room just decides to go off and flinches. +1 Gongshot kills the Chiyu, kills the Walking Wake, kills the Thundurus, +1 Ironhead kills the Sneasler. Unless it is Grassy Seed and Burden, which I guess could be annoying, huh? And then we're running Overheat to for the Fortress. If Sun is up, it just gets bopped. And if Sun is not up, it still does about 80%, so that's good. Setup opportunities, as I said, Rillaboom, if it doesn't have Tantrum. Fortress, potentially, unless it has Bulldoze or Thunderwave, which could be annoying. Walking Wake if it's choiced and locked into Dragon move. Sneasler, hopefully. Maybe Torkoal, worst come to worst, but I would not like do that. Yeah, maybe Mesprit. Like if I taunt with the Lando and Sack, I can go on Mesprit and set up. That's potentially an option too. So yeah, basically this team feels like it has a little more, well, definitely has more offensive power because it expects NOIVERN and Revavroom now. But now I have another way of winning, not just the Valiant, so I felt like this was slightly better overall. And yeah, hopefully it works out. And I'm gonna pause now and I'll rejoin when we get into the battle. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay guys, we're in the battle. Good luck, have fun to Odin. And he brought the no Thunderous, which makes sense. Well, does it make sense? I mean, it's better for me. But there's the Torkoal, there's the Rillaboom. No Tinglu, which is really good for my Revavroom. Walking Wake, Sneasler, Mesprit, I'm guessing that's his Valiant check. And what's the last one? The Chi-Yu. So no Dragon Resist right on the team. I think I'm just gonna lead NOIVERN and Frisk an item so I can figure out if something is specs or not. Yeah, let's go into it. And how much does Mesprit take from Revavroom at +1, right? His defensive 60%. Okay. Choice Scarf Rillaboom. Okay. Good to know. He can't kill us. I doubt he wants to take this hit, right? Can I just Dragon Pulse here? Is my other question. Might not be a 2-hit KO on the Mesprit, but if I Draco twice, it should be. So I'm just gonna Draco here, right? Should be free. U-turn? Wow, I didn't scout for Scarf. Which, I mean, fair. Scarf, no, it's not as much of a threat. Chi-Yu. Gone? Okay. Threat gone, right? Does he know I'm specs now? I'm guessing he would, right? I doubt Chi-Yu dies. Without specs. Yeah, well, could be a roll, but I don't have a base 100, so he probably has some health. Okay, that's a good start. Chi-Yu gone. 6v5. NOIVERN's pretty much at full still. And every time Rillaboom comes in, we can bring this in and get another kill, which I think is pretty epic. The only annoying thing with this is, how much does Valiant do to Rillaboom? Obviously, I don't think he'd be that bulky. I mean, it could be. 57? Okay. Torkoal. You definitely want chip on this, right? And definitely -2 Draco. Still this by 80%. 50? Okay, that's range. So that's Bedef though, right? Because it should have done more. Do I want to Draco again? I don't think I want to, right? How much is it gonna do to Mesprit? Not a lot. But is that my play? To go Lando now and set up my own rocks? This Mesprit's gonna be annoying. I think I'm gonna go Lando. Oh, eject pack. Okay, so we just did that. I think it was gonna overheat. Also, that means only 4 turns of thingy. Sun, right? How many left? 3? Okay, he's booster special attack, so my Rotom can't be getting bopped here. Sun up. Yeah. Yeah, this is an Oko, I think. Oh, Hydro. It did 48. That has to be specs, right? Yeah, okay. Do I want to Volt here? I get a slow Volt on it and bring NOIVERN in again, right? And I think this time I'm just gonna Dragon Pulse. Oh, choice specs, okay. Good to know, good to know. I think I'm just gonna Dragon Pulse here. If the Mesprit is... Well, if it's max HP, I don't think it would KO. I don't think he sacks... I don't think he sacks Torkoal here because he needs the Sun. Actually, maybe he doesn't because he's not speed boosting. But I think I'm just gonna Dragon Pulse, right? I think it does enough damage to everything. Or should I be Dracoing? Okay, he sacked the Torkoal, so no more special attack boost for the Walking Wake. In comes the Rillaboom. I think I wanna Knockoff doesn't kill me. The Scarf. Dragon Pulse does about 60%. Or do I want to keep this around? Do 2 knockoffs kill me? Oh, they do. Okay. It did 51 without specs. So high roll, I guess, because no bulk. Yeah. No bulk, right, basically? Oh, do I just Drain Punch here? I think I Drain Punch here. Well, no, I don't Drain Punch here. It's sub here. Because I don't know if he'll go Mesprit or Wake. Right? And I want chip on the So this makes me feel like he's gonna be Grassy Seed Sneasler for the speed boost and Burden. Yeah, I think I sub here. Because if he goes Mesprit, I can Surging Strikes that, bring it in range. Where's Mesprit? Defensive. 52? Okay, perfect. And now I can see what he wants to lock into, and I can sack Rotom after. Yeah, and I get my health back, right? Dragon Pulse. Yeah, that's a lot of health. I don't need to sack Rotom here, actually. I can go Valiant. I don't know if he's gonna... Actually, do you kill me? Dragon Pulse. You don't kill me. So do I take the kill? Well, actually, if he's modest, he could kill me. If I take this kill... Mm, hmm. Do I wanna? Do I need her Shifu? I don't think so. Yeah, okay. Urshifu gets the kill. Again, Goat, leaving the hit. This is probably Rillaboom again. I might keep the Urshifu around, actually. If the Mesprit is slower, I can get Surging Strikes off on it, which could be big. If he goes Sneasler, I go Lando. Rillaboom, I think I just sack Rotom at this point. He doesn't really have like a ground like thing spamming thing, so I don't need Rotom around anymore. His special mons are all dead. In comes Sneasler. Uh, the Dire Claw. I think I want Rocks up and then I U-turn out. Do we need to... Well, can't sack this yet because there's a Sneasler. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give him Rotom. Maybe I should have U-turned, actually. Would have been better knowing trying to get the spread on Mesprit. But I guess I can U-turn next time, right? Does Psychic from Mesprit kill me? Because if that's the... It does kill me, so I could Destiny Bond. Or I just Moonblast so it's in range of... Where's the matchup? Mesprit's 80. He has no reason to be timid. I think he's gonna be slower than Urshifu, so I'm just gonna... This is a big call, but I think he's gonna be slower, so I give my Surging Strikes off. Which I think is gonna be big. Yeah. It should do about half if he's max defensive. If he's no bulk, it should do a bunch of damage. Basically trying to chip this thing down in range of Revavroom. He has no reason to run Timid. I mean, it could be Scarf, but I think I have to make this call here because I don't know if I want to go into Valiant. I want to keep that around. Okay, this comes out. That's not going to be enough. Do you want to keep this around then? Because he's hesitant to give me Mesprit. I mean, he could drum beating here, I guess. He tantrums. Okay. I'm gonna keep it around, I think. I think the Mesprit is slower. Yeah, I just U-turn on this. Okay, can I know it's spread from this? Are you max defensive? No, you're not. You're Spadef. I think I just go into you. Chili, are you even any bulk at all? You turned did way too much damage. Oh, you're Scarf. I mean, this could be Scarf, but it's not. Okay. Okay, we've done it. We've made finals. Phew! Oh my god, that matchup was so bad, but NOIVERN actually clutched. Holy moly. I have to take back everything I've said about NOIVERN, right? Because he basically won me this game. And Urshifu did a pretty good job as well. But yeah, this was a pretty. I'm happy about. I'm like super stoked because I feel like this build was pretty fire. I think because I feel like this matchup sucked, but Specs NOIVERN finally putting in the work, and yeah, like the build is good. Urshifu put in the work. Valiant to clean up the usual. Landorus again doing his thing, checking like the one thread it needs to. I think that what helped though was Landorus was not overloaded in this matchup because there's no Thundurus and Team Lu, which helped me keep my Landorus in the back for this Sneasler, so I was never in like risk. And then Cord Cloak obviously, so he cannot get the poison, sleep, or whatever stuff, which helps. And then obviously we still had another win con in Rever Room, right? Like, yeah. I wonder if I would have lost if he just psychicked the Urshifu. I'm not sure why he didn't. I don't know if he was Specs or I'm not sure. We'd have to ask him. But yeah, we've done it 3-0. Now we're in finals. So that's gonna be cool. Huge shout outs to L5 who actually suggested Choice Specs NOIVERN. I was gonna run Super Fang Taunt most likely. So shout outs to him, and then shout outs to Monte for the help as well. He made me put Psychic on the Valiant because before I was not Psychic. So yeah, huge shout outs to them, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. And I will see you guys. I don't think I'll see you guys next week for the final. I mean, I said I would not upload this probably in time, but Odin's a goat and he played me on early, like Wednesday, so I was able to just before like my family got here. But yeah, next week is probably unlikely. I probably might have to join the finals, which is ironic because I'm pretty anti-joining. But what can you do, right? Sometimes it is like that. But yeah, hopefully we can clutch it in the finals. That would be pretty cool. First Gen 9 League chip, I think, if we win.